Hey, there we go. Well, hello, and welcome to another Sad Artist Live. This is the first Sad Artist since the last one. So, have you been? Good, I hope. Yes. Well, today I'm just going to be doing what I normally do in the studio, and you can watch me. So, yeah. Oh, I'd just like to say a special thank you to everybody that's contributed to the Sad Artist project so far. You can now donate directly to my website. That's markedmondsart.com. And there's a little place where you can donate. So it's just a big thank you to everyone who's donated so far. To the big pink box. And also some people sponsored me to get shot, so that's great. Right, so currently working on a project. This is a collaborative project with a friend of mine, Brynn Sutcliffe. He's given me some prints, and I'm working over the top of them to see what we can do. So to start with, what I've done, because they're printed on canvas, see? So I've stretched the canvas across some MDF board here, and I've done another one over here, which I've stretched across canvas frame. So yeah, who knows? Also, I'm going to be working on this one as well with some texture, and you'll see this pop up later as part of a tutorial about overcoming the fear of starting a blank canvas, which is something I've never had a problem with, but a friend of mine, Fran, said that was a big problem she had for painting. So I came up with a solution. I'm not saying it's a great solution, but it is a solution. So that's a tutorial that's going to be dropping soon. Okay. So just remember, we are working towards a group exhibition. So if you jump on my website, there are some tutorials and various tools and such that you can use to help you on the journey to doing art. So my comments aren't on. I've just noticed. 1 second. Oh, hi Tim. Sorry, my comments weren't on. Yeah. So this is jointing plaster, which you can get at B&Q. And I often use this at the preliminary stages, sometimes latter stages, of creating a textured painting, just to create just to give it a bit of body before you start moving the various textured things over the top. So we build up those layers. Jointing plaster is pretty good because it's quite robust. It doesn't tend to crack. When you use it on a stretchy canvas like I have over there, it's cracked in places and it's not quite dry yet. But that doesn't matter. Eventually, I mean, I suppose you could use plaster of Paris if you wanted. So, yeah, just remember, when I finally do my Sad Artist London exhibition, if you want to come along, you'll be able to send me an application via my website. I'll have a facility for that when I've got the logistics of the exhibition sorted out. You know, I want you to come with me. I want you to do stuff. Tim, are you watching on TV or at work? Yeah, I know there's a little bit of a delay, so if he's watching on TV, it takes him a while to get back to. Right. So I thought today I'd just do a sort of day in the life, because normally I have something set up ready to go. Whereas today I just thought I'll just show you all the different things that I do in a day. rather than just one particular facet. Because I don't normally just have everything set up ready to resin or everything set up ready to do a textural layer or something. I just see what needs what and work through. So please excuse me if I'm out of breath because I've been climbing today. I'm a bit tired. Yeah. And my hands are just like, oh, all cracked. Okay. Worth noting, if you buy ready mix jointing cement, that it does go off fairly quickly. So mine's slightly on the turn. It smells a bit like stagnant water because essentially it is. So I tend to just work with it until I can no longer stand the smell, and I'll go and buy some more. B&Q recently changed their standard jointing cement mix, and I don't really like it for art. It's okay for actually jointing, so I need to find some when I finally throw this in the bin. I'll have to go probably to Tool Station or Screwfix or something and see what their standard ready mix jointing plaster is. I mean, you can mix your own, but it just seems like an awful lot of effort for a few canvases and stuff. It's way more expensive, obviously, to buy ready mix per kilo. So there we go. All right. Oh yeah, I finally broke 100 views on the intro to the Sad Artist, so I was quite impressed with that. So that's there we go. That's Brynn's print, and I'm working around the outside to build a little bit of a sort of cocoon. I don't want to risk cross-contamination of the image at this stage, but on the back of the canvas, I've got little holes cut. And what that will do is channel washes in unusual ways when I work over the top with resin and washes and such. So I did that by accident, but who knows, might be quite interesting. Right, recent gripe point. So basically, I've entered into an exhibition that only allows blue paintings, black, white, blue, no other color. Okay? The guy who's running the exhibition, he's a friend of mine, keeps telling me that the painting that I've done with Anastasia, it was a collaborative, well, basically, she took a photograph, I painted over it, isn't blue. I think it's fucking blue. Is that blue? Come on, that is blue. There's no other colour than blue in that. It's not turquoise. It's not sea green. It's blue. Yeah, it's a light blue. I'll give you that, but it's definitely blue. There's no green in that. No. Rant over. Okay. So next, I'm going to be, what's Tim say? Oh, I like this. Ah, good. Right, so this is, oh, is that an orb? And I think it might just be something floating, some dust in the air. Right, okay, I'll watch it. I'll watch the video about later. It could be a ghost. Well, we are in Spode in Stoke-on-Trent, and there is supposed to be haunted. Make of that what you will. I've never seen anything here. There's occasionally quite a dark energy in the toilet. Right, so this I've done stretched across canvas because I'm experimenting, testing some stuff out. Obviously, the dictionary definition of experimentation is changing subtle variables. By experimenting, I mean I'm just throwing a load of stuff at a canvas and seeing what happens. So this is a canvas I strung a while ago. It's not really canvas, it's linen. And obviously that bows quite deeply, but this will affect the channels when I pull the washers as well. So obviously, because there's quite a lot of play in that, the first layer of plaster is cracked. But as I'm going to secure it with a layer of plastic resin, ultimately anyway, it's just might look quite cool. So we'll see. There's no time like the present. The thing is, it's best to make mistakes when the first time you try something than when you're working on a big commission project or something, and then it all starts falling apart. So this is where you find stuff out. But pretty sure if you trap most things in plastic, it's going to be okay, because it's the plastic holding it together, not the integral material itself. So I'm going to do another layer on this bad boy, just to hide those cracks. And it's not properly dried from last time as well, which will probably create quite an interesting feature. We shall see. So Brynn's prints are amazing, by the way. So I'll give him a shout out, Brynn Sutcliffe. You can find him on Facebook. He's also the resident framer at Chester Art Centre. So if you're in Chester, you go to Chester Art Centre, you can see some of his work. You can sometimes see him working, although that's a rare occurrence these days because there's a lot of framing going on. Yeah, so I'm just using a large spatula. At this stage, I'm not trying to shape it, I'm just building up some texture. And then later, I can keep the marks that I create that I like and work over the ones that I don't like. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, this might be quite an interesting fit. We shall see. Yeah, I went to university with Brynn, and he was one of the most talented artists there. Of course, the university didn't really like him because he was talented and unreserved. Well, that was the impression he got. Don't want to badmouth my university. There were some nice lecturers there, at least two. Well, the university itself is all right. Just the course I didn't like. My personal opinion. Don't sue me. That's my opinion based on my experience, and I'm allowed to have it. I don't care what you say, liberal fascists. I'm not insulting anyone directly. I'm not mentioning anyone by name. I'm just saying I didn't enjoy it in places. The people on the course were quite nice. Well, a few of them. Basically, the ones that turned up to my mate's funeral, plus a few others. All right, so this is probably about as exciting as watching paint dry. Yeah, I imagine Tim's watching on TV because the conversation is. Difficult. Yeah, so now another interesting thing I'm going to start soon is working with rust, as championed by an artist I know who works with rust quite a bit. And what I've got for that is some. Oh, that's not here. I must have moved it. Well, basically, I've got some atomized. Oh yeah, I took it home to do a little tester. I've got some atomized iron, and I'm going to just throw that in some PVA, whack it on the canvas, spray it with water, and let it rust into the canvas. So there was a chap who showed me how to do it. I quite like that idea, but that's just a preliminary because my main objective is to paint pictures directly onto metal and hang them in the trees so that they can rust as the metal. rusts, obviously, with the painting and become part of the painting. So you've always got a reason to go back and see them because they're aging. That's the plan. Okay. Right, so there we have it. Another layer of plaster over the top. You can see that. So that's how we're basing it. Let me just put these out of the way. In the words of Han Solo, what an interesting smell you discovered. Okay, as we know, when I'm working live, I don't use air extraction, but I would recommend it for you. No matter what you're doing, extract, open a window, don't get those horrible chemicals in the lungs. They ain't good. All right, let me build up a bit more texture on this bad boy here. Don't know what you can see because I can't really see it. But I basically previously slashed this canvas and now I'm building it back up. Just using some quite instinctive strokes here, which I do like. So I've got, all the time I've got like an image of what the finished piece is going to look like in my head as I'm working towards it. So you've got an idea. So I've got these two blobs and I'm going to gradually merge them together in 3 dimensions. And then basically you work back into it. So you cover it and then you work back into it and you use the texture to reveal itself. So that's the plan. Okay, so that was all the stuff I had to apply texture to. So I'm going to put the stinky cesspit of rotting plaster under the table where I keep it. Back to your cellar, evil one. Okay. Alright, I've got to wrap a present for a mate, but I'll do that after the video's finished because I don't want him to see what it looks like. And we're going to say goodbye to this tablecloth, which has apparently stuck itself to my tables. Oh, jeez. Now, little tip, if you're working with oil paints, which I do, it's one of the things I work with, oil paint on rags can spontaneously combust. So you want to throw them away every so often because you don't want to blow up. Ideally, you put them in a metal container. I didn't know that. That's the sort of thing they should probably teach you on an art course at university, but they didn't. So luckily, I've got a friend, Fred Phillips, who told me that. So now I make sure I throw my rags away every now and again. Oh my God. Now, trouble is, I've been climbing. My hands really hurt. Oh. Yeah, resin's quite strong when it's cured, especially epoxy resin. Okay, so, oh, that's brilliant. It's under the camera foot. Would you believe it? So I'm guaranteed to tip the camera over if I. How is that always the case? Rant over. All right, got a big heavy table here. It's like an old school desk. A little tabletop on it. Quite interested to see what this is going to look like under here. Might be a painting by proxy. Might just start working on that. Okay, so I've got it as far as the tabletop. Jesus. Sorry for all my blasphemy, it's my default setting. Right, here we go. Now this is just a thing in itself, isn't it? Oh my God. Odin's beard. I thought this was going to be an easy part of the show. Well, that's the thing when you work live, isn't it? You see, these are the things you never see when I'm just a nicely recorded video and everything works out perfectly, just as I intended it and edited. Now it's just like, cut. Right. Could do with a scraper. I don't have any decent scrapers. Why do you make it so hard? I did have a plastic sheet as well. Seriously? It's like nailed to the... Why is that so hard to get up? Oh, jeez. Hey, on another note, I've been listening to The Witcher on audiobook. Highly recommend it. Polish author. He's great. Well, the version I'm listening to, you've got one guy doing all the voices, and all the women sound exactly the same. Oh no! Don't accuse me! But interesting point, the guy who's doing Geralt is putting on like a northern accent, and he sounds like Sean Bean. So in my head, The Witcher is just Sean Bean, but like an albino version. And if you've ever read The Witcher, you'll know what I'm on about. And if you haven't, yeah, you probably won't. Audiobooks are a great way to get around dyslexia. Oh, finally. Do you remember the music at the end of Rocky when he wins the fight? Adrian. Right. Ordinarily, I probably would have done that a lot quicker and easier, but tired. Right. Now I'm trying to remember what I did with the new tablecloth. It's on my desk. So, new tablecloth. Essentially a dust sheet, and the plan is to have one layer of dust sheet, and I've got a plastic layer. So basically, messy jobs get done on the dust sheet, and then the plastic layer gets whipped across for clean jobs where you don't want dust landing on your resin and such. Oh, except I got the wrong one. Oh well, I've got one of those strip ones that goes along. B&Q. Why do they have to complicate things by having complicated things? No. If I double fold it, actually it might be better because I need the width of the table, which it doesn't quite cover with it. Okay, so there we are. Okay, I think it's just going to be one of those days, really. So you've joined me on one of those days. All my plans have backfired so far, which means there's only good stuff to come. Keep it positive, people. Okay. Now, I probably should have read the label before I bought it. That's £9 I'm not getting back. Oh, well, it'll do for now. Okay, then we'll put the plastic on. Hopefully the plastic covers, because that'd be quite useful. You know what? It might make more sense to improvise and put the plastic down first. And then put this over the top. But then the trouble is the plastic's always exposed for dirty jobs. No, I'm going to stick with the original plan. Geez, that's a lot of plastic. Don't worry, folks, it'll all end up in the sea. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the things that they probably use a lot of plastic on. I mean, the trouble is, there's people kicking off about plastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, plastic's a bad thing to have in the ocean and choking all the fish and such. But really, it's shower gel. Little microbeads of plastic in shower gel. That's what's killing the fish. They're not eating this. Well, a whale might. Well, a whale's not a fish, technically it's a mammal. But there you go. So stay informed, people. I hate having arguments with people that don't know anything. They just choose belief. I believe this. And then you argue with them and you're like, can you show me a logical reason why you believe this? I don't need to, because I believe it. Ugh. That hurts. That hurts my sense of reason. That was totally dedicated at Tom Barter. If you're watching this, Tom Barter, argue better. Research facts. Use those facts to support your argument. Just saying I am logical is not a fact. Logic is one of my talents. Jeez, that made me laugh so long. Okay. Here we go. Aha. Right, so I'll set up a kill room. Anyone watch Dexter? Here we go. Kill room. Killy. So, yeah, this, luckily, I think the rest of the stuff I'm doing today is generally dust free because I don't want to have to pull this damn thing off. All right. Yeah, at this point, I'd just like to say I have no political allegiances. So, all those people that accuse me of being a communist, I'm not. And all those people that accuse me of being a Tory, I'm not. I think you're all wrong. Old politics is stupid. It doesn't fit the modern dynamic of the human race. If it did, you'd have clear divides in political parties. Instead, you don't. Quod erat demonstrandum. Right. This is one I've been working on. What do you think? The glare on it. Yeah, it's one of those ones that I knew it was going to be good because I didn't like it. If there's a painting I don't like, I know it's going to get better. The trouble is it's on canvas, so all the washes tend to run towards the middle and forward. That's quite cool though. But I want to work on it, but I'm not really sure what to do. All right, that's the hard one. That's a difficult one. I'll come back to that. This bad boy here. Oh yes. This is a painting that I finished in 2015, according to the back. And I don't like it. And it's annoyed me ever since. So you know what? I decided to just work over it. So let's start with that. First, I need some. Every full-blooded male in the country should own a feather duster. Ooh, anti-static. There we go. Okay. masking tape. The canvas is twisted slightly, but that's a massive problem. You ever have one of those pieces of work that you've done and you just don't like it anymore, and it annoys you because you don't like it anymore, and you know it exists and it's out there in the world, so you just felt the need to hunt it down and punish it. I have hunted this, and now it will be mine. For some reason, masking tape, when you start the roll, always seems to peel off around the corners. I think it's when they chop it with the big choppy machine. It presses it in around the edge. So that's a bit annoying. If anyone's got a solution to that, because I find it very annoying, it would be great if you tell me what it is. Because you normally have to go around about 2 or 3 times before it stops doing it. So tell me about your day, Tim. What have you been doing? Oh, right. If anyone's got Netflix, yeah. Travelers. I'm really into Travelers. And no, it's not about the gypsy community or traveling community. It's about time travelers. And it's got the guy in who was in Will and Grace, who was Will. I like it, he's a good actor. Was it the guy at Will and Grace? Or is it the one where he's a millionaire and she... No, I think he is the guy at Will and Grace. There was another one that was very similar, Dharma and Greg. I don't think it was Greg. I watched a lot of sitcoms in the 90s. American sitcoms. I don't know, everyone was just kind of hoping for the next Friends, weren't they? It never really transpired. It was almost like America lost its sense of humour. And that's strangely sad and poetic. Annoying. Yeah, I just think what annoyed me about this picture the most was there wasn't enough depth to it. It needed more stuff doing to it. At the time, I just didn't know what. But I resolved that my paintings are just going to have more integrity. Oh, God. I mean, I could quite easily fix this problem by just getting another roll of masking tape. I've got lots of masking tape. But for some reason, probably because I'm male, and we're like this. It's like, no, masking tape provide challenge. Man must fix challenge. Maybe it goes back to when we were cavemen or some crap. So basically, you buy masking tape. It costs, I don't know, £2 a roll for the good stuff. But then you lose half of it because the machine that cut it just sticks it to the edges. Right, you know what? Screw being a man. Proper masking tape. Von Deutschland. It's wrinkled up like crepe paper. Oh, look at those Germans. Yeah. They know what they're doing when it comes to masking tape. Okay, little masking tape tip here. If you don't know, press one edge down. Don't press the whole lot down, just the edge you want to go along, right? And remove the tape almost as soon as you've gone over the lip, and only approach it from one side. So the side of the masking tape, if you can, just do your best. And what that'll do, just one sec. Well, this is the good stuff. The trouble is it Doesn't always give you a straight line. Yeah. You see. I hope you're feeling ashamed, English masking tape companies, that I couldn't get the masking tape off the roll, so I had to go to Germany to kick your asses. It's the trouble, isn't it? You know, how are we going to get on with all this Brexit stuff going on if can't even get masking tape right? You know, that's the problem, isn't it? No, I think it's just probably just going to go back to Victorian England. It'll just be like, no, sir, governor, no, sir. Yes, sir. Oil shine your shoes, governor. Which doesn't really matter if you're Jacob Rees tomorrow, because he's already there, isn't he? But for those of us that are sort of unaccustomed to these things, we'll have to learn. So I'll have to learn how to be sort of like an orphan from a Dickensian novel. Shiny shoes for you, governor. Yeah, obviously I'll be Cockney as well, because everybody's Cockney in Victorian England. Okay, so that's masked. We use that to do the edge. Oh, you know this stuff's bad. Look, it's got no label on the inside. You know it's bad. Perfect. What the? Yeah, that's. You see, this is why you watch live stuff, live feeds. It's not good to see what we get right as artists, it's what you see we get wrong. And that's good. Because, you know, if you can learn from my mistakes, you'll be a better artist. Hopefully. This is just to mask out the surrounding area. Okay. What do you think of it so far? Rubbish. A bit of a gradient. Should I build a gradient there? Right. Now for the hammerite. I'm feeling red. And hammered blue. Hammered red and hammered blue. Yeah, because it's already got a red-blue motif going on. So, Right, tools to spread. My most expensive tin opener. The scalpel for which I cannot find the blades. So it's just a tin opener. And the trouble is, it's like one of those things, isn't it? Each year you buy a new scalpel, and then, oh, we've changed the blade fitting, so it's not going to fit your old one. Yeah, brilliant. Aha! Oh, that looks lovely. Look in there. See? Oh, got to tip over the laptop. Yeah, that would have been fail of the day, wouldn't it? Yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night, looking like an albino. I was working late. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm basically just using the properties of the paint to kind of now this is a bit thicker, you see. Okay, so you can see what I've done. Basically scribbled that sort of mess on there. And now I'm going to take up the tape, which hopefully comes up in one go. Oh, what a surprise. Just the crappy English tape left. Aha! There we go. So I've created the shapes. You see? But they're not, it's not just going to look impressive until it gets washes over the top, which reveal the inner layers and blend. And I'm going to add a bit more in general to the picture because it's a bit dark and I want a bit more. I love this sort of, this blue metallic colour. It's just fucking amazing. Excuse my French. And it just reminds me of childhood, the good bits. I still love colours when I was a kid. Love colours. Colours are amazing. There's nothing wrong with colours. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. I don't know who is it from. Oh, it's Mike. Hi, Mike. How you doing? I'm in the studio now. Okay. Yeah, no problem. All right, see you in an hour, Mike. Bye. Bye. That was Mike. Oh, and I've got another missed call from UNICEF. Apparently, if you donate to UNICEF, they just hassle you forevermore with text messages. There we go. Who knew? I'm blending a couple of these layers. Yeah, that was a weird one. I couldn't tell if I got paint on my hands or I was actually bleeding. No, I got paint on my nose. Okay, it's kind of getting there, I think. It's difficult to sort of describe how it's going to look. Because it's basically in my head, but I've got an idea. I'm just going to build it out with some bolder colours. It was too dark, it was too depressing, and there was no depth to it. So there we go, that's the next layer done there. All right, so I've got a few more items in the maybe pile than I normally have. That's one. There's this big one over here. See, I'm just not sure whether it's going to be. It's heavy. Okay. So basically, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I put a post up there saying, does this require more work or not? The overriding consensus was that yes, it did need some more work doing to it. But I don't know what. So I've been looking at it. It's quite barren towards the edges. I quite like this it's kind of a Cthulhu thing going on in the middle, which I really like. I don't know if I need to. I'm not going to work on this today. I need to think about this. I need to look at it. I'm going to prop it over there and I'll look at it, and then I'll sleep on it, and one day it will tell me. I'll hear a voice from Cthulhu himself, and I'll know what to do before I go slightly mad. Insanity points. Right, I'm not sure what to do with this either. That's why they were both in the maybe pile. That one's work. This definitely needs something doing to it, because at the moment it's a mess. Can't really see it that well. It's very subtle. It's a bit too subtle for my taste. Let's, if in doubt, work back into it. I'm the opposite of a lot of painters who are just like, if in doubt, leave it alone. I think this needs a bit more. It just needs a bit more something. I'm just going mad with this blue because I love it. I'm going to marry it up with some silver. I'll use the rest of my Polish silver. Ooh. And these little silica gel things. Just keep them everywhere. Stop damn getting it. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right. Silver. It's silver to kill werewolves. Or is it vampires? The undead don't like silver, do they? So the silver blends very nicely with this iridescent blue colour. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I just realised. Sorry about that, guys. Angle the camera down. So you get this lovely sort of blend here. And reveal all those sort of hidden layers underneath. So yeah, so Hammerite Australia got in touch with me and they were like, oh, do you actually use Hammerite on your paintings? I was like, yep. And they didn't reply. They're like, oh, very creative style. They might get back to me. You see, sponsorship. Now, from Hammerite, that'd be good. Wouldn't mind that. You just keep me in paint. Teach people what you can do with that paint. Trouble is, using big tins, it does dry up quite hard. You just sort of poke your way through to where you need to be. Yeah, we'll build back a bit of reason into this. Because of course another thing is you can, when you've got plastic down, you can just use it as your own palette, personal mixing palette. Because the thing is with Hammerite, when you work with Hammerite, pretty much everything that comes into contact with it, at some point you've got to throw away. Yeah. When you're an abstract painter, it's quite important to sort of go with the flow of the painting. If you neglect the flow of the painting, it kind of starts to look a bit weird. Well, I mean, obviously, That's not a problem, but weird in a bad way as opposed to weird in a good way. Oh, look. I didn't get my pigment mix right on the last one, so I've got little bits of granulation. Well, not get it right. It's like, as Bob Ross would call it, happy little accident. I can maybe angle the camera up a little bit more so you can see my grinning face. Okay, a bit more red in this equation. But we're also going to mix in some silver. And some red blue in there. Like Eskimo fishing, this bit. Sort of cut a hole in the ice and then poke your instrument through. No double entendre there, eh? No, apparently if I just press it down it pops up anyway. There we go. Ah, perfect. Just want some all over my fingers. Wearing a jumper today because it's cold. Well, I've got 3 heaters on. I just didn't want to get cold after climbing. You know, it's bad for your muscles, isn't it? Gotta stay warm. Let's have a bit more blue here. Very special thanks to Anastasia who bought me a load of this hammerite. Can't quite remember which, because I think she didn't get me the red. Well, that's okay because the red's awful anyway. If you're listening, hammerite, make better colours. Well, I'd settle for a better red. It's okay because I can punch it out with red resin, but it'd save me a bit of heartache. Just put some green in the middle. Bit of green. Green. We're going to go so black. Lots of black. Gold there. Some white. Aha! Gelona. Ah, now this has got a proper Eskimo hole in it. Look at that. Time to go fishing. Oh. Now, of course, the beauty of hammerite is you can paint over plastic with it because it's solvent based, so it's very robust. Now this is quite dark green, so you definitely got to mix it with another colour in order for it to not take over. If you've got a beautiful blue metallic colour, so you can mix that into just about everything. And the general goodness of the blue will permeate the not goodness of the other paint. Oh, that's getting there. And look at the hot. Important also, abstract painting, look at the picture as a whole. Don't just focus on one little area. From my subconscious to your subconscious. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. If you just joined us, don't forget to check out my website. That's markedmonds.art.com. markedmondsart.com. Edmonds with an O, like Noel Edmonds. No relation that I'm aware of. No deal. No deal, Noel. Oh, look at that. The selection of paint on that. That's actually the thing in itself. Let's save that. I'll take a photo. Oh, well, nothing lasts forever. Little bugbear. People that turn up to unnecessary meetings with colds. Oh, I've got a really bad cold. Did you need to come to the meeting? Well, not really, but so you just came to spread your infection to everyone. Okay? I don't understand that at all. Yes. It's not the best, is it? Perfect. Now, you know, a bit more in that central feature that I've been working on. Yeah, now, yeah, I can sort of see where that's going now. Okay, so that's not going to look like much to anybody who's watching, but when I build it out with some resin, that's going to look fantastic. I obviously put my hand in the resin. That's what you call an annoying little accident. Not resin. Yeah, you know, paint. Paint. Thank you, Bob Ross. So, basically, when it's an annoying little accident, you know, take it out on the dog. Just give him a little kick. Maybe drown your favorite gerbil. And that's how you deal with an annoying little accident. You know, like you've just spent 16 hours on a painting and destroyed it. Time to get killy. What sad artist anything would be complete without an impression of Bob Ross taken out of context and doing something they wouldn't normally do, because that's the nature of observational humour. Right. Aha. So anyway, here at the Spiderworks Studios in Stoke-on-Tees, we've got spaces. So all those people waiting for a studio in London, get the train, it's about an hour, and get a space here. Probably takes less time to get across Central. You know, well, it will be an hour when they've got that super duper rail link or whatever it is. Mind you, doesn't it cost like 6 billion quid to get a train these days? I don't know how to drive, and that's bad enough. Bit dusty. I miss the raining down in air. Don't sue me for copyright. Yeah. New year. Probably going to start a new playlist. Not sure what to do with this one. Well, I mean, you've been laboriously watching me for an hour. Oh, look, I've got these little bits of resin that I saved. Look, just snapped off plastic things. How cool. I'll just put them in a painting and resin over them. Keep them for something. So I'm not sure whether that's going to be a wash job or it's going to be a... I think it's time to do some washes. Now this is quite cool. No, actually this just needs a bit more, this does definitely need some more paint on it, as opposed to resin. Some silver. I'm going to silver this up, lighten it up, and then purple wash maybe in resin. Really like purple. It's one of my all-time favourite things. I know I'm going mad with the blue, but it's just ace. It's such a nice colour. I'm going to pull it back out in the sort of purpley wash net. So just need something there to lighten that side up. Just a bit too dark. Yeah, I'll do like a bluey purpley corner. Should be quite cool. Yeah, so it does look a mess, you know, when you're kind of doing that. But then once you go over it, the resin, it's going to look ace. These are my little bookends that I've been working on. So at some point soon, I'm going to, I don't know, sell them, raffle them off. I might do a bit of a sort of, I don't know, raffle for my 100th show or something. I don't know. Do some competitions. Like me on Facebook or something. I don't really know how that marketing stuff works. Right, I'm going to resin that. I've decided that's getting resined, and then I'm going to abandon you to do your own thing. And I don't know. I'm going to rest that stuff for now. I don't know what to do with it. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to put a little blob of paint on it. Let's see what we got going. Yeah, this is for the shop at Spode because they want some smaller stuff. It's basically just stuff I'm working on while I'm doing my own thing. A bit larger stuff. So when you've got the paint mixed up, you just blob a bit on. And go mad with the blue. As always, because it's just such an amazingly lovely colour. Yeah, I'm trying to build like this into sort of a flower type image, but it's difficult. I've been working on this particular picture since university. It's like really heavy. It's just full of, it's got a wood back and it's full of resin. It started off as a picture of something, and then I just kept working over the top of it. Forever and ever and ever. You've always been here. Sort of blue rose. Yeah, you know what I think I need to do? To just kind of trim that down, because it's like a bunch of flowers, but one sort of rose in the middle. If I trim that down with some black, it might be all right. Oh dear, is that going on? So here we go, little tip for artists out there. use of negative space. And you've got too much going on. Your eyes drawn all over the place. This is the sort of thing that happens when you see it with a lot of really intricate painters, but they've got no concept of how the human eye works. So they kind of like, no, that's a huge generalization, but I have seen it where they kind of like everything's intricately painted. So you look at it and your eyes just drawn all over the place and you can't appreciate the accuracy and the integrity of the painting itself, because they haven't used any negative space. You know, you can't focus on everything brilliant as it is all the time. Well, I mean, it's probably less to do with the human eye and more to do with the human brain. I'd say in my humble capacity as an artist. There we go. So I've masked out a bit of space. That's probably what was going wrong there. I guess some paintings will just never be finished. But maybe it's not about finishing the painting. Maybe it's more to do with the journey of creating the painting. Well, that's even cooler now. Look. That might even warrant a photograph. You know what? I think it does. Yeah. One of my lecturers at university used to say, oh, anything can be art, which was really the way of justifying how bad he was as an artist. Naming no names. You know who you are. That's it. Oh, this one's starting to look very good. I like it. A few more layers. See, sometimes it's easier just to get your eye in for a small painting, because obviously, like I said, you're taking in the whole, the image as a whole, you see, and then just building it up around, you know. Yeah, I like that one. Oh, I've got a couple more in. May as well do them while I've got my paint out. Well, this one's starting to go really cool. This has gone through various stages of me hating it, liking it, hating it, and we'll just see what happens next. I'm not going to release a painting into the public domain unless I think it's got a decent level of quality to it, but it may take me a long time, you know, to get that. Sometimes it happens kind of almost instantaneously, depending on what sort of mood I'm in. It might only take a few times, a few sections and layers, and it just works out fine. But then sometimes it's you work on the same thing for years and years. Sometimes a lot with the smaller stuff you tend to work on for a long time. Yeah, good grammar there. A lot with the smaller stuff. Yeah. Now what? Nobody's perfect. Silver, silver, silver. Silver, silver, silver. And that looks awful, and we'll try and fix it with some resin later. Yeah, there's something totally missing from this. I don't know what it is. Yeah, sometimes get a lot of work into these little paintings. Basically, when they're kind of reach fruition, I put them into, I've got a drawer down there, and when the drawer's full, I'm ready for the shop out front. So something we sort of organised last year, but I've been busy. Been busy with the sad artist. Hope you like it. Hope it's been worthwhile. I think it'll get there eventually, because you know who else is doing this? And actually, well, probably loads of people. That's the key with entertainment, isn't it? You got to be entertaining. Hope I'm doing that for you. If not, just send me an angry email. Just something along the lines of, "You're really not very entertaining." Okay, thanks for that. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is put this away. Then I'm going to mix up some resin. And then I'm going to pour it. Oh, I'll flip this back. I'll do some other stuff as well. Always a good idea to keep your flammable paints somewhere that's natural. Do I look fat? Yeah, probably. Losing weight. Go climbing twice a week and walking whenever I can. Yeah, going up to the Lake District. Lake District? Yeah, next week with a pal. Gonna do some walking. Which is nice. All right. Yay, go paint. Okay. Right, so the plan is fold the sheet. This might create some interesting effects. Okay. Right, there's my picture. Cool. Jazz. Okay. I have to mix the resin off camera. Trade secret. Not sure what colour to use though. I know which corner I want to be in though. This one. Turquoise. Hardest colour to mix. A little bit of that. Alright. Next job, find some turquoise pigment. Ooh. Well, pigment. I've got some blue. No, it's alright, I've got turquoise. Yeah, turquoise. Yeah, blue exhibition. Eat that in your eye, turquoise. Well, that smells funky. Phase 1. Suggestive jokes, please. Phase 2 is resin. Ready mixed. Gonna be my extra special expensive tin opener. It's got a very sort of voyeuristic quality, this. It's like somebody's just watching me in a chair smoking. Don't take your pants off. No, we're making art. Lid off. Okay, added. Okay. There we go. This is the closest anyone that's not on my super special secret list of people that know my secret have got to see me mix the resin. And the reason I keep it a secret is because, frankly, it took me quite a long time to figure it out. And why should I just give it away for free? No matter who sneaks up to me and goes, "Oh, it's all been done. All the art's been done, so you can just share all that information with me and I'll just make art with your technique." No, learn yourself. Well, I'll teach you some stuff. Interesting pigmentation because it's thin. Clogs into the interstices. Word of the week, interstice. Those little tiny holes you get in canvas. Thanks, Fred Phillips, for teaching me that one. Interstices. So to turquoise that side, that's going to be more purple on that side. And I'm probably going to do some here as well. The only issue is that it's probably going to run inwards with it being a canvas. Oh well. Now the main issue is it doesn't actually fit in my drying rack. Quite pleasurable to watch, really. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't warp the canvas. Oh, it's going over the edge already. Now I'll put things down to peg it out. What have I got that I can use? big box of acrylic paint. That might help. This will create some interesting patterns. The resin's escaping across the table. A lot of resin artists have like a little pouring table that they use that is dedicated to pouring resin. I don't. Do a little bit, a little. That'll do. Very cool. Quite interested to see what happens with this one. So, anyway, chaps, thanks for watching, and we're going to call that a day. So, yeah, I'll let you know how I get on with this painting. You'll see me at the next. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. A bit weird, a bit voyeuristic, but never mind. So, I shall see you again sometime. Ciao for now.